Their aura is unequal.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Or whatever. And they start to make it a little more raspy, and I follow directions.
Their contents are legendary.
In fact, that little sheet you see is his concept drawing.
Their attitude is embraced. Tune in to one of the most up and rising kaiju-sized groups within our community. So go ahead and watch all of their creative content, including that of the Raw Attitude live interview, where they have special guests ranging from actors, directors, toy creators, artists, and many, many more. You can also find them on multiple of other social media platforms, ranging from Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You could even sit back and watch your favorite classic monster movie and even watch us go through one of the most iconic games on Twitch. Featuring your hosts, Eric Stowe, Adrian Settle, Joe Myers, Samson West, Jordan Adorno. They are the Monsters with Attitude. What is going on, Monsters with Island viewers? I normally have an intro every time I'm hosting a show, and I always forget it because it's been so long. But screw it, we are here. Thank you for everybody tuning in, supporting, of course, none other than Monsters with Attitude, as we will be having a Raw Attitude live interview. So right over here, this is to the right, but it's technically my left, is a brother from another mother, and that of Mr. Samuelson West.
That's kind of almost sort of all the way correct in a sense. Yes, here I am, Samson West, the man that is allergic to the East, as it says below now. I finally have a tagline. I've been wondering what I should put below my name for the longest time, because I'm just Samson West. I don't have anything more, but I am now allergic to the East.
Hey, listen, brother. It's unfortunate for us East Coast individuals, especially, I don't know about you, but over here, it is extremely cold. I don't know if that applies to where you're at, Samson.
Oh, hell no. It is. No, we are in the high 80s. Humidity to the, it's my aunt's the South. It's hot.
Yeah, nah,
yeah,
dude,
no,
it's cold where I'm at right now. I think we're back in the 40s now today. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
It's
if Eric was here, he would tell you to shut up.
Yeah, listen, and I get it, but for it to be that cold in this, in this timeline,
May.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. But nonetheless,
yes,
joining us here with this special Raw Attitude live interview is none other than the most influential artist and human being in our community, and he is, oh my goodness, a longtime friend of mine's. He is everybody, John Bellotti Jr., aka Robo7.
The most influential artist. Oh my god.
Yes, dude.
What are you doing? That's thank you for that. I equate myself to Heath Ledger has that, or the Joker has that great line in The Dark Knight. He's like, I'm a dog chasing a fire engine. I don't know what if I would do if I caught it. And that's how I approach my artwork. Like right now, I'm in a Kamen Rider Black Sun kit, because that's like so you saw like I dropped that Kamen Rider piece, like, so I'm just like, I love this show and I need to make artwork for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna make artwork for it. So,
just gotta do it.
So now I'm like doing Shadow Moon, and I'm like, but I got Kaiju Brooklyn in like a week. Like I can't focus on this. So I'm like Heath Ledger's Joker when it comes. But thank you. That's something else. You took the words out of my mouth. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you.
Of course, man.
For sure.
Yeah, like fun fact, Samson. The first like few months of me and Michelle dating was around that time frame where I was introduced to John, and it was attending Anime NYC. Our last trip was before we left. Just to put you on, Samson, Anime NYC is this up and rising anime convention that's located in the Javits Center. That's like the heart and soul of New York conventions. And our last spot that we decided to hang out at before we decided to come back to Connecticut was the art gallery. So that was more of Michelle's niche. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have a lot of, art pieces, pertaining to specific artists. And I did not know who was there. And then when I saw the Robo7 logo, I freaking went ape shit. And then the rest was history, man. I think I don't recall how many prints I bought that day from John, but every year we would make it a tradition to just go out to New York, support John's artwork, and just try to get him to not walk back home with so many things. That's how many shit we'd buy from him. So
I remember. I was trying to remember if it was anime or New York Comic Con because I do both. But I remember you coming, and I remember the next year you came, and I'm like, oh shit, I remember you from last year, right? And then we got to the bro hug level, right? Now we're doing full on man hugs.
Yeah, dude.
Every year, and then I remember with Kaiju Brooklyn, and I think you reached out, you're like, yo, that's sick. And I'm like, dude, you got to come down. So you coming down was the last year, right? You came down last year or the first year?
I came the first year, yeah.
First year, I was like,
yeah,
wow. And then when I saw your art, I'm like, dude, you got to get a table. So you getting a table, dude, it's my mind is blown. Just the way life works sometimes, to be this guy I met at a show, and now he's at Kaiju Brooklyn. I'm on his podcast, full on man hugs. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of you, man, because your stuff is awesome. You draw mechs in ways that I have no patience for. So good on you.
Thanks, brother.
But yeah, I'm excited for you being part of the show this year. I've been telling you for years, yeah, you got to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm excited, man. So thanks for playing for a table. I appreciate it.
Man, listen, and thank
you. Absolutely.
You.
Coming from my standpoint, I've seen this bro's art in recent time now. I've seen the art that he's created and the crossovers and the things that he's done. And I've been blown away. I don't know if I'm allowed to spoil one of them, but there's a very specific childhood love that he worked on recently that I'm still waiting for my complimentary copy of. But yeah, dude, he's done some great stuff, and I'm like, what are you waiting for? Go do something, make yourself known, man. You got potential.
Here's the thing with that stuff, because I did it for fun one year, because not to get into my whole backstory. We can go into it. I don't care. But
yeah, dude.
I started doing fan art because a certain anime store in LA was selling a Hedora poster. And I said, how much is that poster? And they're like $40. And I was like, $40? I could draw my own for free. So that's what I did. I drew a Hedora poster, and it got published in Monster Attack magazine. I posted on Facebook for fun, and it blew up. It just blew up. So I did Mothra vs. Godzilla. That blew up. I did Destroyer, Gamera 2. It just kept going and going, and then someone said, you should do G-Fest. I'm like, yeah, I know about the show, but okay, sure. And I sold out that first weekend. The first day, I was almost sold out of stuff. And I just kept doing it, man. And I don't want to say look at me now, but Jesus, to go from a fan artist, an artist alley, and now I have my own freaking Kaiju convention, and I'm working with Subaraya. And, I'm going to Japan in September. I'm going to go to the Ultraman convention. So I got you saw we did the Ultraman event last year. So I met Ultraman Zero and Belial. We made history. First time Ultraman has come to Brooklyn, and that was us. That was a Kaiju Brooklyn thing. So to go from that guy that did fan art for fun to hugging Ultraman Zero in 5 minutes from my home was whose life is this? You know what I mean? So that's why I tell artists, man, plant your flag and get a table at a show, because you don't know what it's going to spiral into. You have no idea. So good on you, buddy. Seriously.
Now, listen, dude, that's first and foremost, if you didn't offer up that opportunity, I don't think, I don't think I would have done it anywhere else, truth be told. And if I'm gonna do it for anybody, I'm gonna do it for somebody that I know, and not only on a personal level, but also in a way that I know for a fact he's gonna just try to get me to reach lengths that I didn't even see in past years. So thank you, John.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's like I said, you don't know, like I said, doing shows, like I did shows as a kid, but like at the level I'm doing now, G-Fest was like a lark. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then I was like, oh, I think I got something here. So again, you don't know until you try it. And now I'm doing New York Comic Con. I have an exhibition, and I do Anime NYC, and it's like I'm good friends with those guys. And so, you know what I mean? I've traveled all over the country, and now I've dialed it back now since I got Kaiju broken. It keeps me a little busy, but I got some shows coming up this year. But again, you don't know. Like you really don't know. Now I'm like a veteran. I'm like a 10-year veteran at this point. So it's,
dude, for real,
crazy.
Yeah, I remember when I passed you, when I would just do my humble running arounds at G-Fest, and I saw you in Artist Alley, and I looked at all your stuff, and I was like, hot damn. Let's see. No Godzilla versus Gigan. I'm gonna move along. So,
it's okay.
But no, your art style is always phenomenal, and it baffles me how people can capture it so well and with their own unique art style, and just like the vibrancy and just the accuracy. It's like you got it going on, and I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. I've never had the opportunity to pick up something, especially now I need to get shirts. Y'all both have some Robo7 shirts on. And since I've gone up in size over the years, I need to get me some really cool shirts.
Yeah.
But speaking of that real quick, I don't know if maybe it slipped through the cracks. Did you ever work on a Godzilla versus Gigan piece around its anniversary or anything? Or did that
no,
has that not happened yet?
That's the 70s stuff. Like I did Terra Mecha Godzilla, and I did, what the hell else did I do? I think I only did
Hedra.
Yeah, Hedra I did twice because I didn't like the first one. That was the first piece.
Megalon. You did Megalon. I loved that one. That was good.
I did 3. I have a Mecha Godzilla 74 planned out. I just haven't had time to do it because once -1 came out, I'm like, I'm doing 2 posters. And Gigan. So those 2 movies, like, I would love to do it just because I'm a sucker for the 68 design of Godzilla and the 68 and Anguirus. I just hate Ghidorah. I hate drawing Ghidorah. So that's kind of what stops me. So I got to figure out a way to sort of obscure him so most of his body's out of view. But yeah, that's I consider that. Right now I'm looking at doing I love to do. Well, I'm finishing my Kamen Rider Black Sun. That's getting done. That's the first thing. Godzilla can take a backseat. But I'd like to do Frankenstein. I'd love to do. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, and I'm looking at. I want to do 84. I just need a good idea for 84. And what the hell? Oh, Kiryu. I want to do the Kiryu. One of the Kiryu movies. SOS is like one of my favorites, so I'm thinking about doing that one. So that's
right. Okay.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Because Samson, he is, oh my goodness. I mean, just basing off the question and just knowing him personally, he is a simp for Godzilla versus Gigan.
Yeah.
Anything regarding that specific movie, like literally, he's showing you the poster he has in the background. That's his bread and butter. And Samson, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the movie that introduced you to Godzilla, right? Or was it? No, it was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
I know it's funny that how my first film is not actually my favorite. I was introduced to the fandom through MG74, but Gigan, there's just something about it it's so charming and goofy and just malicious with that. But yeah, that's why I asked that question. It's just like, oh man, I love his art style. It's just there's one very specific boy that I'd like to see in that that art.
Yeah,
but I understand.
No, that's like for that. It probably won't be as colorful as Megalon, but with the Children's Land background, my God, like I could do with those crazy mushroom houses and the Godzilla Tower. I mean, there's so much. Like the Godzilla Tower itself is iconic. The 72 Mazers, the Maser tanks, the red Maser tanks are cool as hell. I could definitely have fun with it. It's just like I said, I got so many other things ahead of it, and I've given Godzilla so much attention. I've given Ultraman so much attention. So it's funny too because it's like if I don't post a Godzilla piece, like the likes on Instagram for Kamen Rider are like a fraction of what, because I get my followers like, yo, what's Godzilla? Like, that's all you do. So it's like, as my wife says, like, that's what you're branding yourself as. So when I do something like that, forget if I do Super Sentai, my God, I'd lose like 10 followers probably.
Oh my God, dude.
I know, it's weird. Like I could tell you, like, Kamen Rider, under 100 likes. I'm being straight up, under 100 likes in that piece that I killed myself on. But I'll post like a doodle of Godzilla, like 400 likes in the first day. Like, I reposted my Space Godzilla. It was like 100 likes by the time I woke up. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. You know, and that was like an old piece I did with Kamen Rider.
Oh yeah. That was like one of the original pieces you done way back.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, the movie that of course put me onto the franchise was Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. I was 2 years old being introduced to it. I remember going back and rewatching your interview, your last interview with Joe and Eric, almost about to be a year ago. And I know they talked a little bit about your upbringing to Godzilla, talking about basically when it would show up on like Saturday morning and stuff like that. Yeah. What was the specific, if you can recall that far back, the first Godzilla movie that put you on?
So when 85 came out, I was 5 years old, right? And I remember that. I remember it coming out in theaters. I remember it scaring the hell out of me. I remember crying at the end when he falls down the volcano. But at that point, I knew who Godzilla was, which means I had to have seen something between the ages of 1 and 4, right? That would make sense. And I always kind of go back to Hedorah and Monster Zero. Like, it's always those two, like, that I feel like I've seen the most. And 54 was there. And I remember when I first saw Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, I remember I used to like get the newspaper, like show the movies for the week in New York, and we'd have the creature features on Saturday. It was like a kung fu movie and a kaiju movie, and that's why I'm obsessed with Bruce Lee and Godzilla.
Oh yes,
there's if I was new Kaiju Brooklyn, it'd be like Kaiju Kung Fu. You know what I mean? Like, I would do a fucking kung fu convention without second guessing it. But yeah, so I think it was like those movies. And I remember Ghidorah was another early one. Gigan, like, I remember I started renting videos of like Gigan and Godzilla's Revenge, Mysterians, Rodan, Mothra, Gorith. Like, I rented all these movies when I was a kid on VHS. Like, Gorith, like, that's one of my favorite Toho films. And then it just disappeared. And I never taped it, but I taped like Rodan, Mothra, Frankenstein and Gargantuas would come on, Atragon would come on, like I'm telling you, like, all the Toho movies would come on, and I saw all of them. I remember one of my earliest memories is I was a kid. I was sleeping on my couch in my living room, and I woke up at 2 a.m. to the Gotengo crashing through the Mu fortress and freezing everyone. I was like, what am I watching? This is so cool. So that's why the Gotengo is like my favorite Toho mech. Just because I woke up at 2 a.m. when I was like 7 years old, like, seeing this. So I was exposed to like all the Toho films. I started renting the Gamera movies at Blockbuster Video. Like, I went nuts. I went X from Outer Space, Prehistoric Planet, Yungary. Like, I'm telling you, like, all my friends are into Star Wars. I was like the kaiju guy. Like, and I didn't discriminate. You know, there's like Godzilla fans that won't even watch a Gamera movie, much less Ultraman or Sentai, but there's thousands of those fans. It's crazy. Like, the Kamen Rider fandom is huge. Sentai, it's huge. Ultraman. So yeah, I was all in. I was all of it, like, just all of it. I'm a simp for all giant creatures and people in multicolored costumes. Like, so yeah, that's my long-winded answer to your very short question.
No, dude,
speaking of simps, we have several in the comment section. So we have our other host with the most from MWA, Adrian, saying what's up. We got Doug on Twitch. What's up, Doug? And the man who shall not be named, Leslie Chambers, of course.
Oh no,
with the most awesome, long, elaborate comments ever made.
Leslie's awesome. I can't read it.
He is saying that your work is the absolute best artwork I've ever seen. Very colorful and vibrant, and he's pretty much saying what I said. So, copycat.
He's awesome.
And captures the fun part of why we love these movies, and he provides an epic service to our fandom. Thank you, Leslie. Speaking of simps, yeah, there you go.
No, he's great. He's really good people. I love that man.
So the reason why you probably didn't catch it, but he was staring at me for a second when when you mentioned something very specific, saying there's certain Godzilla fans that just refuse to watch this, that, and I just kind of started like backing out of the screen a little bit. I have been I have been slowly introducing myself to stuff outside of the Godzilla fandom, because that's all that was really available to me at the time growing up in the 90s was stuff at video stores. But we do a lot of fun things on our Twitch channel, some movie reactions from yours truly. I've watched a lot of stuff that I haven't seen before. Mysterians for the first time ever in the past year.
Yeah,
Matango.
oh my God, yeah.
Atragon. So a lot of the ones that you mentioned, but you said one that I didn't actually. Gorath, which one is that one?
So Toho did they call it the Space Opera Trilogy, but they're not really. So it's Mysterians, which is amazing. Battle in Outer Space, which is almost as amazing. Battle in Outer Space is all about the score and the end battle, which inspired Star Wars. Like, I could just watch the ending on a loop. And Gorath was the third film, where it's basically like a rogue sun-like star is heading towards Earth, and it's pulling like everything towards its gravitational pull. And humanity has to unite in a way. Like, I think Honda was always big on uniting humanity in his films. And Gorath is probably his biggest love letter to the United Nations that I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
Like, Gorath, there's like one scene in the movie I don't like, which is like a weird sing-along helicopter scene. Outside of that, it's the most dramatic, serious film with one of the best scores outside of the 54 movie. It's unbelievable. And it's basically humanity coming together, figuring out a way to move planet Earth out of the direction of this rogue star Gorath. And highly, highly, highly recommend finding this movie, because some people think it's a little boring. I think it's just as important and emotional as 54. Like, and when it's over, you cheer with them. Like, you are with the lead characters on how they like avoided like Earth being destroyed, because they all stuck together as like one planet. So it's fantastic, man. Highly recommend watching it.
Okay, I just looked it up as we were speaking. Yeah, I tried to find the poster real quick. Now, is my sister came in with my nephews because they spent the whole day here. They were saying bye. Now, is this the one with the giant walrus creature? Is that actually like that's the kaiju, or is Gorath something?
Yeah, that was Toho saying we need a kaiju, but they cut it out of most prints. But the Japanese print I have actually has that scene, and it does come out of nowhere. It's so weird. It's a weird scene. Yeah, but
some of these.
Oh, but the sets, like, dude, the effects in that movie are like, it's like, wow, this was made in the 60s. Like, it's on par with stuff you see now. Like, I'm telling you, it's really good, man. It's really, really good stuff.
I need more things to add to the list. I love doing, because I've been doing these reaction videos for quite some time now, and I've checked many off of my list from Toho and Tsuburaya and whatnot. I still have more to go for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But Gorath, that's one that's not even on the list.
Yeah,
that's you guys' fault for not telling me.
Yeah,
or
and you've seen Gargantuas, I assume, right?
Oh no, yeah, I saw that long time ago. I love the Gargantuas. It is one of Toho's all-time greatest outside of the Godzilla universe. That and Frankenstein Conquers the World. I mean, those two back to back. I actually saw those for the first time ever with Rich Iso when I surprised him at a younger age for his 30th birthday. I got flown out to his house, and we had a weekend together, and we just back to back some kaiju films I'd never seen. The original Mothra, Frankenstein Conquers, the Gargantuas, and I think there might have been one more. But yeah, I've seen some of the classics, but there's a lot that I'm still not exposed to that I need to. And don't even get me started on Ultraman. That's a rabbit hole I don't even know if I'm ready to get started down.
I could give you some recommendations, but Daimajin, that was a movie.
So, yes, I've gone through all three of those. We did that recently. The third one. Oh my god!
I went to David Dopko's house, me and my wife, back in 2018, and I mentioned him, like, I've never seen Daimajin, and I owned the first movie on DVD, but I never watched it. And he's like, "Oh, you gotta watch it." So he put one of them on. I think it's the second one where he comes out of the water with the ocean parts.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the second one. I was blown away by that. I saw I never saw the third one. I've only seen the first two. But that second one, that's the one I made the poster of. I'm like, I'm fucking drawing this right now because this is amazing. That is one of the greatest, most underrated, greatest kaiju movies I've ever seen. Like, no one talks about it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that they're all three of them were just back to back to back, the same year, all 1966. It's like, man, y'all just filmed the whole series in one go, I guess.
It's the golden years, man. It's golden years.
Literally. I mean, I think me and Samson could save you a headache in telling you do not need to watch the third movie.
I hear things about it, and I'm like,
yep, things is right. That's about as well description as it. I've heard things. Yep, that's I
want to leave on a high note. That's part 2. So,
there was no 3. Don't worry, there was no 3.
Yeah.
Unless if you're a completionist, then go by all means, go right ahead, but enter at your own risk.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Really quick, there was something that, of course,
Adrian.
Stop it, Adrian. Don't lie to John. There's something that Samson brought up, and trust me, John, we've been bugging him about it so many times. Ultraman. Dude, you have had, oh my goodness, an incredible year with Ultraman, ranging from, of course, coming out with, shirts for the Ultraman Rising movie, which is a movie that somebody needs to still watch. Also, partnering up with Subaru Productions, with New York Comic-Con, having to then go out to the American Dream Mall in New Jersey and host that little show there. The screening at Brooklyn with with the Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle movie, or was it the Revenge of Belial? Was that the screening for that?
Oh God, there's so much it blurs. Yes, we screened Shin Ultraman, and then we screened the Belial movie the second year. But we did an Ultraman. We did a special event at Comic-Con last year where I left my booth and I went to Industry City where we host Kaiju Brooklyn, and Ultraman Zero, and so we did a special panel. So I'm also one of the Ultraman trading card artists as well. So there was a panel with me, Klenda V, Jeff Zorno, and another artist. I apologize, I forget his name. And then we had a table set up, and then Ultraman Zero and Belial came out, and they fought, and it was amazing. And the actor Christopher Sean was there, who did the voice of Ultraman, Ken Sato, and Jugless Juggler was also there. He came over from Japan, and he was funny. I said, "What do you think of New York? Are you eating a lot?" He goes, "Yeah, eating a lot of steak." I'm like, "That's awesome." So we got photos together. He was just hanging out, drinking, hanging out. And then we presented Ultraman Zero with the key to Industry City, man, and it was crazy. It was crazy. So it's been a whirlwind. It's my friend calls me the Elvis of Subaraya because I'm working so much with those guys.
Well, you definitely got the hair there.
Yeah, I definitely got the hair. I don't know what Toho's waiting for. You guys can call me. I work with IP. It's cool. I'm cool, guys. Don't be afraid to call me.
So with that was kind of going to segue into the question I wanted to have for you also. Yeah. I know we don't really talk about it a lot because the main focus and the main, niche of getting the Robo7 name out there is through Ultraman. Right. But I mean, you just said it with Toho. Is that a thing you want to do in the future?
It's what I've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And excuse me, I've approached them. I've spoken to them. I've met them at conventions. They're nice people that I've met. I had meetings with them, and they just weren't ready for. They love my work. They love everything I do. I know they know what Kaiju Brooklyn is. They're aware of it. Mm-hmm. So, and they know I work with Subaraya very closely now. Mm-hmm. And I just think it just sounds like I pitched them T-shirts, and they're sort of at a saturation point with T-shirts. So kind of the timing was off. If I got to them maybe a year earlier, probably would have been different. So, and that's kind of the only thing I really want to do with them is T-shirts. And they're like, well, pitch us other ideas. And I'm like, yeah, I'll see what I can come up with, but I kind of got a convention to run too, and this is kind of all I really want to do. So, but I know they said they're still open to working with me, and I've, their people follow me, they see what I'm doing. So hopefully we can make something work. I mean, that's kind of the goal is Godzilla, but it's crazy because Ultraman was sort of there the whole time. And basically Ultraman came at the convention called 5 Points Fest here in Brooklyn. And I was talking to James Groman, the artist,
Yeah.
he's a buddy. And we were just talking about getting like the Godzilla license, and he told me how much it costs. And then he said, we were talking about the Ultraman license, and my friend Chris of Seismic Toys has the license. And I was also hanging out with my friend Rob of DangerBot, who makes t-shirts, and we were talking about doing t-shirts. So like all these things were there. And I went up to Chris and was like, yo, what's the Ultraman license? Like, what's the cost of that? And he told me, and I went, oh my God, I could totally afford that.
Yeah.
I went back to my friend Rob, and I said, how much would it cost to make t-shirts? He gave me a price, and I talked to Groman, and he's like, you got to go for it. And I just did. It was just like a lane. It's not like when you're stuck in traffic and a lane opens up and you just go in that lane and you start flying. That's basically what I did with Ultraman. I'm like, you know what? He's underserved. Let me get involved with Ultraman because I love Ultraman. Don't get me wrong. Like Ultra 7 and Zero are like, they're up there with Godzilla for me. Like that's messing around. Like 7 is my boy. So to do a 7 shirt and a 0 shirt and meet Ultraman 0, it's like, so, you know, and they've been really great with me. They really like me. I really like them. It's a great working relationship. And I met everybody, and hopefully I'll meet more people when I go to Japan. And it was crazy. Like when I did Japan World Heroes, Hiroku Sakurai was there. She played Fuji in the OG show. She wanted to meet me. She came up to my booth. We took photos. We were posing together. And then they asked me to moderate her panel. And I met all the Ultraman people, and they're thanking me, and they want to take photos with me. It was crazy. It's been crazy, and I'm very thankful for it. But I also want the Kamen Rider license too, man. Like I want all 3. I want the big 3. Like that's my goal, is to get all 3 of them. That's the plan. So
I know Kamen Rider's it's a big one amongst fans. We have somebody in the chat specifically, I know for a fact, is a big Kamen Rider fan. He brings it up quite a bit. He's one of our Twitch fans, but I actually don't hardly know anything about it. I know that it is like a old Sentai-ish property with like bikes and fighting and just very Power Rangers-esque and stuff. But other than that, I don't really have any. I don't have any knowledge about it because it was one of those things I didn't grow up with watching because I was a product of the 90s, so it was more of the Showa movies on VHS and the Heisei movies as they came out.
Yeah, now that I took the plunge, like, you know, Black Sun is a standalone series and it's amazing and very topical for today's political climate. And Kamen Rider Zo, oh my God, you can watch that for free on YouTube. That movie is amazing. I don't throw that word around lightly, but that movie, man, it's like, and it's standalone. You don't need to see anything else. So that's kind of how I started. Now I kind of jumped into Ryuki. I jumped into Kamen Rider Black. I kind of, you know, I can't sit there and watch 50 episodes like I used to or something anymore. The commitment. So I just watch episodes here and there when I get a chance. But it's good stuff. It's very dark. Somebody compared him to, if Ultraman is Superman, then Kamen Rider is Daredevil. And I love Daredevil.
Ah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah,
okay.
So like he gets beat up. It's dark. It's very current events. It's bloody. It's dramatic.
Dude.
Ultraman can get a little like cutesy and stuff, and sometimes it's like But Kamen Rider, they always play for the most part pretty straight. So highly recommend it though. We're checking it out.
More drama.
Yes, a lot more drama.
I will say the only. Not to segue out of like, you know, the overall purpose of the show, but the only Kamen Rider property I've ever watched, and I was ironically enough convinced to watch it by somebody that attended Anime NYC. They pulled up with a Kamen Rider cosplay.
Yeah.
They talked very, very highly about Kamen Rider Amazon, and
the OG.
I was like, I was looking into it. I'm like, ooh, I like that little suit. I like that little, you know, that dinosaurian reptilian type of aura it's spilling with, specifically with the armor. And that's what kind of like drove me into wanting to watch it. And I enjoyed the few first episodes I was watching. So I might have to go back and revisit that. But I mean, with mentioning, you know, wanting to work with IPs such as Godzilla, Kamen Rider, and then currently, you know, working with Ultraman. What about Gamera, man? I mean, do you have any like ambitions wanting to work with Gamera?
Of course, yeah. The Gamera trilogy, Gamera 2 is my favorite kaiju movie of all time. I don't know if you know that about John Bellotti. Yeah. So, quick story, Gamera 2, I knew about the Gamera, the Heisei movies, but I was like, no, I'm Godzilla and Gamera, blah, blah, blah. Even though I love the show and stuff. And my friend was like, you should really check out the Gamera movies. I'm like, all right. So I went to Chinatown in New York and I bought a bootleg of Legion and I put it on and I was crying by the end. Crying like, oh my God, they're saluting a monster at the end as he flies away. And that kind of got me back into kaiju stuff. Because after Destroyer, I was like, well, all right, there's nothing else. And Gamera kept me in the game. And I don't want to say it changed my life, but it definitely, something went off in my brain when I saw that movie. And I was doing Gamera 2 paintings. I bought like the early X Plus toy and the Bandai Legion, and I'd set up my garage with like toy houses, and I would take photos and do paintings of it in art school. My teachers were like, "What the hell is this stuff?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I love it." And then forget about like part 3, part 1. But I was talking to a friend, and he approached Katakawa, and they were like, it was weird. This is right before the Netflix movie or the series came out.
Okay.
And Rebirth. And Katakawa at the time were like, we only want to give the license out to like big companies, like a Bandai. But then they never did. It's weird. And they just, I don't know. They don't know what to do with it. Gamera doesn't really sell like Godzilla, so it's kind of a gamble. Because if I have all my prints on the table, like I love my Gamera 3 poster. Like I am so proud of that poster. And it doesn't move, man. Like it doesn't move like the Godzilla stuff. It's sometimes it depends on the show. Kaiju Brooklyn 1 and 2, all my Gamera stuff sold. But Anime NYC, Comic-Con, it doesn't really move. But then Daimajin was moving at New York Comic-Con. It's weird, man. I feel like Gamera only moves at a kaiju show.
Yeah.
It doesn't move at like as I call a Gen Pop show, where it's like, you know, like random normal fans rather than like rabid fans like us.
Yeah.
But if I had the opportunity to get the license, yeah, I would get the license in a heartbeat for sure. I want all of them, man. I'm going for all of them.
Dude, I'm looking through your profile on your website and I'm seeing your Legion poster. This is absolutely sick.
Thanks.
Again, with my newfound knowledge of things that I need to watch, I went through the Gamera trilogy recently and I love it. I've seen Legion more than anything now. Yeah. And it even drove me to buy the big one. It is the only X Plus Gamera. Actually, it's like the only Gamera anything that I own. I have the X Plus Legion that's like this damn big. And this, it's like, I actually cut myself with the freaking figure trying to be funny with the giant spike on her head. I was like, oh man, can you pick your nose with this? Oh, ow, that was dumb.
You gotta be careful. I ordered from Hobby Link Japan. I don't know if you guys saw, but I think it's Kyoto did the giant Gamera 96 Sofubi.
Oh my God, yes, dude, yes.
I got that on a pre-order. That's like bigger than my cat. That thing is. I'm like looking around, like where are we gonna put this goddamn thing? Like I have no space in here, but I'm getting it because the sculpt is gorgeous. Like Gamera 96 is so Gamera 96 and Mosugoji 64 are like my 2 favorite kaiju designs, and sometimes it's like the 64 suit. Certain angles it looks weird, but Gamera 96 from all angles is perfect. Like for me, you know, and I love Gamera 99, but only from the side and not from the front. Like I'm weird with stuff like that. But 96, it's the perfect balance of the 95 design and like a more like aquatic deep sea.
Yep.
And his eyes, man, it's all about those eyes. Like his eyes are amazing in that movie.
I absolutely agree. It's the perfect balance between 95 and 99.
Yeah.
95 is like a little goofy-ish looking. 99, it's great. It's like ridiculous and mean, but it's almost a little too much. So 96, perfect balance.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the first Gamera thing I've ever owned in my entire life before I started like really getting deep into collecting Gamera. The first movie I was exposed to, introduced to Gamera, was Guardian of the Universe. It was actually on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
And then fast forward, that's all I'd ask for. Every Christmas, every Three Kings, every birthday, I'd be like, I want Gamera. And then one year, My grandma just pulls up with a little Christmas bag. She goes, "Here you go. This is your last Christmas present." Open it up. It was Gamera 2 Attack of Legion. I lost my shit.
Yeah. That's crazy because if you see, like, I grew up with the Showa stuff, so I knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
And so when I saw the Heisei, I'm like, oh, they upgraded. So that's like watching Rogue One for your first Star Wars movie, and then you go back and watch the other ones. You're like, oh, wait a minute, what the hell?
So fun fact. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Oh, that's right. We got this bro in here talking about Star. But that all right. We don't need to get into his hate.
Yeah, that's a whole.
No, I'm with you. No, Jordan, I'm with you. I gave it a chance. Everyone's telling me to watch Andor. I'm like, no, they bit me enough. I'm a Star Trek guy. I'm not into Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Wrath of Khan.
Oh, so I'm in the minority. Okay, I need to leave, I guess. I grew up with the original trilogy. That's my love because my dad introduced me to that when I was a kid on VHS. But Star Wars, the other properties, they're fine. I guess they exist. Some people can like it, but I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars fan.
Yeah, that's fine.
But people do love it more than anything. I bumped into somebody. I was wearing a Darth Vader shirt and Kroger, and he just stopped me. He's like, "Have you seen Andor yet?" I just was like, "No."
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah. No, you'll never see me in. I love Star Trek, but I'm not going to wear a Spock shirt. Like, I'm just not going to do that at all. But I love Star Trek. I really love Star Trek.
Well, how do you feel about the new movies that have come to fruition?
The first one was okay. Into Darkness, I was the asshole in the movie theater when I was watching Darkness for the first time because I didn't know they were doing Wrath of Khan. And as I'm watching it, I started yelling in the movie theater like an old Italian man. And the people in the back row were laughing. And I was cursing like, oh my God. I've only cursed like and yelled twice in the movie. No, 3 times. One was the first Transformers, where people still talk about my performance that day. Into Darkness, and then The Force Awakens, which I embarrassed my wife, and I apologize every day. I remember like cursing loudly in the theater at the movie, and I don't know why I didn't walk out. Like, that's how mad I was at those movies. You're like, John's a nice guy. Who is this monster he speaks of? But seriously, like my wife said, like I was like this in my chair, like I can't believe they're doing the Canyon Run. They're recreating A New Hope. They're just recreating the first movie. It's just so derivative of A New Hope.
It really is.
Furious at Force Awakens. Furious at that movie. God.
So right here we have Steven. I remember meeting Steven for the first time last year at Kaiju Brooklyn. He cannot wait for Kaiju Brooklyn.
Oh, Steve, what's up, buddy?
So that is a perfect segue to get into one of your newest creations in that of Kaiju Brooklyn. Yeah. So for those that are watching currently, that are in the comments and are not aware of what could possibly be expected at Kaiju Brooklyn 3, John, can you just give us a little bit of information of what is to come this year for Kaiju Brooklyn?
I can give you a lot of bit of information if you want.
Shoot, go right ahead.
I don't know where to begin.
All right.
So we went from, as you remember, 20 vendors to 75 this year. And it's a lot of artists. You know, I'm an artist, so it's artists first. And a lot of new toy vendors. We got some designer vinyl guys coming this year, like Tank Dino, Last Bastion. Marasan is coming this year.
Ooh, big one.
Heartbat Studio, she's doing some custom Kybrogon stuff. Dominic Navarra, so many like Sofubi guys coming. You know, I try to keep it more like classic IP that I want to represent. To do the Sofubi stuff, that's like I like that it's a growing part of the show, but it's not what we're about. But I'm very happy to have them join us, and I hope they have a great show. You know, so I'm excited because it's a new thing for us. And we have guests coming. We have Keone Young, who we work, he was at my booth at Comic-Con doing signings. He was at our Gojira screening, and he did like a nice intro. I have Linda Miller, who I've been dying to get for Kaiju Brooklyn 1 and 2, and Philip Andrew, who was the Lunar Wolf Ranger from Power Ranger Wild Force. And I also have Rashad Santiago of the Sci-Fi Show. And that's another aspect of the show I want to grow is also the artisans. Like I want Rashad. I was hoping to get Paul Komoda out to the show, and Paul has done a lot of kaiju designs for like Acro model kits. He's worked on I Am Legend. He's worked on Batman and Robin. He does some great. His artwork is like he's a phenom, but it's just the timing didn't work out. So I'm trying to like I want to get more of like people that like do the effects work. I want them to come out to the show. And Rashad's a local, upstate New York. So I'm excited for him. Marasan obviously is a guest. Hold on a second. Okay. So that's the vendor hall. Okay. Downstairs in the original space, our Hall H/room, where we're running panels all weekend. And that's the other thing. We're doing 2.5 days this year, which is like, wow, we're like a proper show. That's awesome. We'll have like badges. It's going to be great. And so across the hall from the panel room is Hi-Fi Provisions, which is a record shop. And we're bringing Toku Cade in with us this year. So it's going to be our first Kaiju Brooklyn video game room at the record store. Okay. So you go outside to the courtyard is where our cosplay contest will be on Saturday. And in courtyard 5-6 is Gun Hill Public House, which is a brewery.
Yep.
We have, you know what I'm going to say? We have our first ever Kaiju Brooklyn lager. Custom design labels by me, Tokyo Bronx, and artist Kane Slomko, who won our beer label contest. So we did a tasting a few weeks ago. So we have 3 different lagers for 3 different cans that we sold as a set. Brewed right in Brooklyn, literally brewed in Industry City. So it is like a homegrown Kaiju Brooklyn brew, man. I never anticipated that as part of our show ever, but I'm so happy that we're working with Tokyo Bronx and Gun Hill. And in Gun Hill Brewery will be our first ever Kaiju Brooklyn Lounge with its own schedule of karaoke, trivia, performances, DJ, and you could just go and hang out, drink your Kaiju Brooklyn beer. It's crazy. It's a show within a show. Then you go upstairs to Brooklyn Game Night, and they're hosting the first ever Ultraman card game tournament. So we have the card game people are coming out. So they've been promoting us on their Instagram. So we have like a full-on tournament going. So then you go to, the screening, right? This is Courtyard 1-2. But on Friday night, we're doing a kickoff party with 2 DJs, drink specials, on top of a Kaiju art show happening Friday night as well. So I'm all over the place. Then you go to Powerhouse Books. Powerhouse Books will be carrying the Ultraman novels and some signed copies of the Ultraman Rising art book.
No way.
Then you come to our screening on Saturday night, and we are the North American premiere of Ultraman Arc, the movie. So we are very excited to premiere Ultraman Arc, the movie here in the United States. So there's a lot going on. It's grown significantly. We weren't expecting it to grow this fast.
Yeah.
And, I'm worried with the tariffs. I'm worried with the economy stuff. I'm always going to worry because I'm a show promoter.
Mm-hmm.
I hope people are going to spend. I hope people aren't, going to clam up. I want everyone to do good because we have a big show. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think everyone's going to have a great time. It's just so much bigger. And what you get for your money now is way more than you get that you've gotten at the first 2 Kaiju Brooklyn shows.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. Excited to have artists like yourself for the first time. I have a lot of new artists I haven't met that I'm excited to get. And yeah, man. So we got a lot going on. That's the whole scope of it too.
A whole shebang.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Big bang.
Yeah. But I have a great team.
Bada big boom.
I got to shout out to my team: Lily, Henry, Anthony, my partner, Tiffany, Sal, Rosa, Tokyo Bronx, Gun Hill. I mean, the Super I people have been great. We work closely with them. We're also Mill Creek. We're working with. They sponsored us last year, and this year they sent us some copies of the Ultraman Trigger box set. So we'll be giving them out as like door prizes throughout the weekend. So yeah, it's a lot, man. And I'm gonna try to do what I didn't do the first 2 shows and just sort of absorb it.
Yeah. Enjoy
it and try to take it in, because the second show was a lot of fun. It felt like a wedding almost. And that's where I met Steve Snarny. I'm butchering his last name. First of all, last year we had people came from all over the country. And I was like blown away by that. I was totally blown away that people were coming from as far as Washington State, Utah, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Los Angeles. It was crazy. And so this year I'm like, we got people from Japan coming. So we have some good people coming this year, man. So do you guys have any questions? I think I answered. I think I said everything.
Listen, dude, I've been trying to get all of MWA on board with, just one time, just pulling up to Kaiju Brooklyn from someone that lives like in a neighboring state to New York. That was one of the biggest cons was for me never being able to just go out to a place where I could just be with my Godzilla people.
Right.
Yeah, of course, you've mentioned we've had our G Fests and stuff like that, and I didn't attend G Fest until like 3 years ago. So when you created Kaiju Brooklyn, I was just like, oh my God, this is perfect. It's right around the corner. If I don't need to drive there, I could take a train, and I'm set in stone.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you recalled, but recently me and Adrian, another co-host who's still here in the chat with us, we did a live interview with none other than Ultrazilla. And me and him, we talk almost on a regular, but of course, all we've ever wanted was for this con to blow up. Yeah. So like for everybody in the chat, if y'all didn't know the story, the first year of Kaiju Brooklyn, of course, had to show up and, show support to Mr. John Bellotti Jr. And one time I was just showing him my phone. Specifically, I want to direct this to Doug because he mentioned if we have any Super Sentai series and stuff like that. I am a sucker for Kyoto Sentai Ranger, which is also dubbed as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, that's what it is. And I showed John my piece of the Dragon Zord, or what's dubbed in Japan, Dragon Caesar. And John goes, Jordan, there's no way in hell I've known you for all these years, and I did not know that you knew how to freaking draw. And I'm like, damn, then I guess I'm a bad friend because I didn't tell you. And afterwards, even like with the Gojira screening, and every other time, we would message each other. He would always be like, Jordan, you better get yourself a table. You better get yourself a table. Even when freaking John was promoting Kaiju Brooklyn 3 and what was to expect during the Gojira screening, he was like, yeah, so any upcoming artists I want to show up, and then he points at me right there in the freaking crowd. It's of course, man, we want to see this blow up.
Me too.
Everybody that came down for the Ultrazilla show offline, like me, we all had a group call and we were talking about Kaiju Brooklyn. And I'm like, listen, it is going to be in a way that I don't even think John even knows is going to come, because that's how big it's going.
My partner, our event coordinator, Lily, I'm so in it that I can't see it. I'm like, you can't, that phrase, you can't see the forest through the trees. So I can't see it, but I feel it. And I me these things, and Lily's like, John, I don't think you realize like what this show is, what it is, and what it's going to turn into. And I'm like, I know. And it's just like I said, like Dark Knight Joker. I'm just like, I just do it, and it works out. You know what I mean? Like, I just do it. I follow my gut. I follow my instincts. And it's like, because I knew it was going to happen, because we have like, how many people do we have in the tri-state area, Jordan? Like, what, 50 million people just in this corridor alone? And you got to assume like a good amount of them are Kaiju fans, because we all grew up with the same movies. And every time I did Anime NYC or New York Comic Con, I would make a killing. And I'm like, there's money to be made here. Like, there are people that will come and spend money in New York. And dude, that first Kaiju Brooklyn, you saw the photos. Like, it was, man. You couldn't breathe. Like, it was almost 1,000 people showed up in that space. And then the next year was almost like 1,500, almost 2,000 people. So I'm assuming it'll be more than that this year. It has to be. Dear God, it has to be. you know, and you know, guys like Sal, I know he always wanted to do something, so we're working with him. He's doing our panels. He's doing an amazing job, and I got a great team, man. Like, and that's. I told my partner Anthony, I'm like, I can't. If this show grows, I can't do this alone. Like, I need people, you know, and then we'll whatever we got to do to keep them around, and you know, I have confidence in them, and they're so, like, Lily and Henry and Sal, like, they're so into kaiju stuff that, you know, their support is unwavering, and I'm glad that they feel that way, because I want it, like, they see what I do. Like, I'm at work, I have a full-time job, and then, you know, I'm running the paint crew on a TV show, and then I in my office, I'm like on the website, like uploading our website, and like emails and texting, and it's like, you know, it's like I'm running two things at the same time. But, you know, I wanted to blow up, I wanted to succeed, and I'm just gonna, you know, and it's weird because I have this thing I do in my artwork too. You get so into what you're doing that you're just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I drawing Kamen Rider so hard? Like, what am I getting lost in the details of his arm? No one's going to care. But then when I zoom out and I post it, and I'm like, wow, that looks really fucking cool. Like, that's how I am with Kaiju Brooklyn. Like, I'm so, like, here with it that I need to just be here. And I'm starting to get some distance and starting to, you know, disengage a little bit to the point where I can see it, you know, and see what works. I saw what was going on last year. I definitely saw, you know, there was a point last year, man, and I was like looking at the crowd coming in. I'm like, I felt like Woodstock 99. I don't know if you know about Woodstock 99.
Oh my God, dude.
I was getting that feeling. I'm like, oh shit, is this thing going to get away from me? Like, is this, like, are we going to be able to control this? Like, this crowd, whatever. But it was fun. Like, it was all like in my head. So, yeah. And we have guys like Yoko Higuchi is a local filmmaker. He was a PA on Shin Godzilla, and he's a big part of our show now. And he said to me, he's like, look, I never made it out to Chicago for the other show. And thank you for making the show, because now I don't have to travel. And I was like, I got you. That's, I was have to, like, travel out there. But, and, you know, all due respect to those guys, they were the first. You got to respect it. We're doing something different. You know, we got a different energy, different color. I got bringing my artistic sensibilities to it. I want it to look a certain way and pop a certain way. That's why everything's so colorful. You know, like I said, we got great people with us, man. So, and thank you guys for talking about it. Thank you for keeping it in the lexicon. Thank you for believing in it and believing in me and what I'm trying to do with the show.
Of course, man.
You know, I appreciate it. I really do.
Of course, bro. Like, it's funny. Samson knows this. I work at a hospital now. Security at a hospital, and so I created a little Godzilla cult in the hospital. Like, every time I come out, yo, literally, dude, listen, if there's one way to spread the word, I might as well do it. I don't care. Especially where I live at, this city is like, the only color it shows is just black and white. All right. And it is just, there's no color. So every time I'd clock out, you know, I get comfortable, like as if I'm going out or whatever. Sometimes I'll have, like, you know, an Ultraman shirt or a Godzilla shirt, and the people that are clocking out, they're like, dude, you like Godzilla? And I'm like, oh, listen, dude, that's a whole another can of worms that you don't even want to open, brother, because I love Godzilla. And fun fact, a few of them, including a bunch of personal friends, will be attending Kaiju Brooklyn.
Nice.
I've been spreading the word and stuff like that, banners.
Good, man.
Thank you.
And stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, speaking of Kaiju Brooklyn, of course, everybody knows that I'm gonna be. If you guys did not know, now you guys are going to know. I'm going to be a vendor selling a few of my art pieces. Doug, no, I don't have a Gabra tattoo, and I don't think I'm ever going to get a Gabra tattoo. But yeah, listen, sorry, not sorry. I'll have Minya before Gabra, but
damn,
that, there is a specific piece
that
I have been working on for a lengthy time period, and I thank our Lord and Savior for pushing me to finish it, because I didn't think I was going to finish it in time. And I would like to present it to you guys here. And this will be John's first time seeing it.
Put on my glasses for this one.
There you go. Yes, the glasses. We had to remind him, dude. You forgot. Good job.
So I have tried uploading this on all of my socials. The picture was so large that it could even fit the format of any social media account. And
That's
here,
so odd. I don't know what
yeah, it
how
was.
or what you'd have to do to.
I tried
I don't,
everything,
anyway,
and nothing worked. But for those that will be attending Kaiju Brooklyn, you guys will be able to purchase the evolution of
Nice.
Gamora.
That's cool as
This
hell.
I try to fit in every single bit of incarnation that is Gamora. That is one of my all-time favorite Ultra Kaiju. It's what inspired one of another personal favorite characters of mine in Digimon, was the inspiration of Greymon, and is just again, I love Gamora. So I wanted to really truly commend that by creating this piece. And again, I can't even tell you how long it took me to get this done. I got, of course, the top left, you see EX Gamora. Right across from that,
here, I'm gonna do something real quick. Let me see if I can hide the background so we can see this even better. Oh, that makes it stand out and pop.
Yeah. So again, I try to get every interpretation of Gamora in there, including that of the Kaiju girl Gamora. That's somewhere right in between the oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting the Rayonic burst Gamora and like Gamora's right hand. We have another anime adaptation of Gamora from Ultraman Kids. You have, I mean, the second incarnation of Gamora, Gamora from Ultraman Powered or the Great, whatever name that show was, and just so much more. And of course, the one that's in the front ground, right in the bottom, knocking down one of the Osaka castles, is the original Gamora.
That's great.
So a crap ton of Gamora, and now that everybody has chimed in to see it, this is going to be at Kaiju Brooklyn. So yeah, make sure you guys attend Kaiju Brooklyn. You guys will not be disappointed because it will be a fun show.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah,
that's really cool.
But we have reached the hour marker. Literally, I'm looking at the comments. Leslie, Eric, and Adrian, they're all like freaking just in a whole nother freaking world. Really quick, just want to pop this in there. Joe, what's going on, brother?
Joe.
Hope all is well, my friend. I mean, I'll just shoot you a message later to figure out what's going on with you. And really quick, I also got a note. Make sure a Kong figure is on that damn table next to Jordan. I will tell you that would not be a good idea because I absolutely hate Kong. And I will tear that shreds. Samson knows. But yeah, Samson, before I decided to wrap things up, is there anything that you wanted to ask John one more time, or is there anything you wanted to say, buddy?
I did have one small I don't know if it's a small question. It does have to do with like intellectual properties and what you are and are not allowed to do. I know you did that amazing art piece for what was it, Aliens? Didn't you do an Aliens piece?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
With a very certain 50th anniversary coming up this summer, have you had any thoughts about our big aquatic fish from 1975?
The company, there's a book company I work for. I'm really friendly with these guys, Printed in Blood. I actually did the cover for their Ultraman episode guidebook. It was a Kickstarter exclusive. They did a Jaws book that I didn't contribute to. And and it's coming out already, so I definitely missed the deadline for it. Jaws is one of those things that it's one of my favorite movies. Like, I love the movie. Okay. And like, so much artwork has been created for Jaws that it feels like, well, what do you do, right? Like Halloween was another one because they did a Halloween book, and I didn't make it in a book. It's still like I still understand why I didn't make it in a book, but like trying to do a composition for that was like everything's been done. I mean, even image posters of like from the perspective of Michael Myers' knife reflection.
Right.
And Jaws is just one of those that it's like, it's been like, I don't have a good idea for it. Like, it would just be a standard floating head poster. I don't know. It's I'm open to it, but like I said, it's just one of those things. It's just like Star Wars. Like I wouldn't know what to do because like so much has been
Oh
done.
my
What
God,
are you going to do that hasn't been done already? You know,
I got to tell you, with this shirt that I'm wearing right now, it's very unique and very stylized, and it's one of my new favorite shirts. It's actually, it looks like a 1960s or 70s. It looks like a comic book. It has like 75 cents in the corner right here, I believe.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool as hell.
it's very stylized and very. It looks like a comic book. So I can imagine that would be difficult to try to come up with an idea that would just stand out against anything else because it's all been done. I've seen artwork of it's basically from the perspective of the inside of his mouth. You see the scuba tank right here. There's Chief Brody slowly sinking in the background with the gun. It's like, what can you do? But I didn't know if that was something that was floating in the works or if you had, because I'm so looking forward to the 50th anniversary this year. Yeah. It is basically the perfect movie. You can stop and pick it up at no matter what point it's on TV and just watch it. And seeing, and you just said it's a very great film, but that was just something I wanted to throw into the works since I knew you have worked on IPs other than Japanese stuff, especially with Aliens. So
Aliens was fun. That was a fun piece, and Ultraman obviously. It's weird because it's like I've done some Bruce Lee stuff, and I'm proud of my Bruce Lee stuff. I did a Fury Road poster that I love, but it doesn't. The Bruce Lee stuff will move, like people will buy it. But like Fury Road, it's like that was hard. Like I love the work. The poster is cool. Like I'm proud of it, but it just it's a tough piece to sell. And if I post it on, if I'm going off my algorithm, like it'll just die. It just like dies on my social media. It's crazy because I'm sort of branded as the kaiju artist, right? But when I go out of my wheelhouse,
right,
it doesn't. So I'm like, all right, well, why get into territory that is already overpopulated with tons of artists? Like I'm in a very niche market right now and flourishing for all intents and purposes. I'm not driving a Maserati, but I'm doing pretty good. And so I kind of just stay in that lane, but it doesn't mean like I don't draw people. Like, I don't draw other things. It's just for me where I'm going, what I want to do. It's just kind of, like I said, I'll do it for fun. Like Aliens, I did for fun, and I would love to do it again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Printed in Blood, they have some cool stuff planned that I'm definitely going to jump on. Like they just did a Mars Attacks book, but I missed that deadline. They did I can tell them like do a China book. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I was just interested about other intellectual properties real quick. That was the other thing that was just kind of weighing on my mind for a second before we signed off. But as Jordan stated, we have reached the hour mark of our show, and we try not to keep you much longer than that if we don't have to. I mean, we can keep, by all intents and purposes, just you want to ramble, keep on rambling, but we want to respect your time and not keep.
30 minutes if you want. No, I could. I could always talk about this stuff till I'm blue in the face. But I didn't want to acknowledge. I can't comment because I have to log into my YouTube. But I appreciate all the comments, guys. Like everyone, like Leslie and Bearded Kaiju, these guys. Everyone is. It's nice. Like you guys have been really great.
We got somebody that's actually chomping at the bits here. I see. He asked it earlier, and I didn't know if I should throw it in, but the fact he just now asked it again. Eric wants to know, since you are the big Ultraman fan and it's a big part of your life, what are your thoughts about Omega now that is coming to be?
Well, because I'm privy to certain information, I do know some stuff about it.
Okay, all right, boom, asking the right questions.
I'm not repeating, but I know it's a good-looking show, and I know it's a really cool concept. The face is throwing me off a little bit because I'm not a big fan of red Ultra helmets or faces.
Okay.
I think if it was solid red and the mouth was red, I'd be more into it. But it does look good in person, and from what I've seen of the show, it looks amazing. Like I don't know which guy is doing it because there's Taguchi is one of my favorites. He did Blazar.
Oh my god.
Zet is one of my all-time favorites, and Orb is good. I don't know if that's him because there's like a few guys, but it looks amazing, and I'm excited for it. I love Arc. Arc was a lot of fun. It was a very unique story, and the effects are great, man. Like they're definitely upping the effects game and the story game in some of these shows. And I do wish some of the shows, like Blazar especially, could have benefited from like a few extra episodes. Arc probably could have benefited, but I hear the movie is really good. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm going to be seeing it for the first time with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I just haven't had time to watch. I have the movie, I just haven't had a chance to watch it. So, yeah, I'm privy to certain things, guys.
All right, you don't have to over-explain.
No, I know. But no, I'm excited for Omega, and it's Ultras. The new Ultra stuff is the only stuff I really follow. I'm not following the new Kamen Rider stuff or the Sentai stuff. That's like a whole. I'm not a fan of some of the new Rider designs. Some of them are just like ridiculous.
Okay.
It's just like way overdone. But yeah, I'm going back to the older stuff. That's the I gotta catch up. It's like it's a rabbit hole. Once you go down, you got to fully commit.
Oh no, most definitely.
That's why I said I think I need to just kind of stick with the stuff that I am pretty familiar with, and maybe sprinkle in some other stuff here and there. Because I can't even imagine trying to go down the Ultraman route. That's going to be a whole new vacation.
It's fun, the Ultra stuff. A lot of it's standalone. Like you could start off with the original, but honestly, you should start with Tiga. Just start there, and go up to go through the Heisei era stuff. Gaia is my favorite. Gaia is like
okay.
Yeah, Gaia is a game changer, and I don't think they've reached the heights of Gaia since. I hate to say it, but Gaia was firing on every cylinder imaginable. So and that's a standalone series. You don't need to see anything else. It's just self-contained, and it's amazing. There's two Ultramen in it, and they're diametrically opposed to each other's belief in the planet and humanity. But yes, Bearded Kaiju says Tiga is the best. Tiga is one of my favorite designs. Yeah, there you go. That's why I drew that shirt, man. I love all three of those guys. Tiga is amazing. If you love serious Ultra stuff, like Ultra 7, Tiga is all serious. There's some lighthearted episodes, but it's really straightforward sci-fi. Yes, Ultra 7 is my all-time favorite Ultraman series, and it's super dark. There is no smiling in that show. It's all filmed in the shadows. There are episodes that they've ripped off. They ripped off the face hugger design from Ultra 7. They ripped off some of the story of the Matrix from Ultra 7. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Highly recommend Ultra 7. Can't say enough good things.
I've heard good things, actually. That is one that I've heard more than anything. That's the theme song that I've heard more than any of them. So it's funny that that is definitely a fan favorite. And I've seen clips, because I'm stupid, but I'm not ignorant to the stuff that exists online. I've seen clips, and it's actually pretty violent with what he does to other kaiju in that show. And it's holy damn, what happened to that guy? It's he just takes his head, whatever it's called in his head, throws it, and just it's ugh! So
yeah, no, it's
kaiju
good.
butchery. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, so those are my recommendations for Ultra shows. But again, you could depends what you want. If you want goofy stuff, you put on Ace is good too. Ace is another good one. 80, I don't like the design, but the show is good.
Yeah.
Taro is goofy as hell. Leo is like watching the Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movie. So if you like that stuff, you'll like Leo.
Samson, this is why we've been trying to recommend you to stuff like this. We're not going to recommend you to trash. Maybe Eric, because he wants you to have the proper kaiju experience. But we're putting on you to some peak shows in Ultraman.
Oh yeah, peak. What was the thing that we watched not too long ago? Super Inframan. Yeah, that was peak right there. That was something else.
Yeah, don't recommend that one.
But to all of our beloved fans that have chimed in, Thank you again for, of course, helping us grow in numbers and also just sitting back and just watching us as we, just went through whatever it is that we went through with John, discussing with, the upbringings to him with Godzilla, personal goals that he has in mind, and also, the up and rising Kaiju Brooklyn that is literally a week from now. Or no, wait, yes, I am right.
Yeah.
It's going to be next week.
Next week.
So,
yeah.
If you guys haven't, I'd highly, highly, highly suggest following John on all of his socials at Robo7. Go on his website to purchase whatever it is that comes across your mind in that specific website. Go ahead and follow Kaiju Brooklyn on all their socials, ranging from Facebook, Instagram. Is it just those two, John?
It's on Twitter too, but I'm not as active on Twitter as we are on Instagram. Is like our biggest one.
Yeah. So screw it. Follow him on also Twitter. Okay. Yeah. And of course, follow us at MWA throughout all of our socials, ranging from, oh my goodness, every social media platform out there, ranging from Instagram, TikTok, our Facebook group, X or Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, because you guys know once we get our numbers up, it will be way more beneficial to the channel and also beneficial to you guys because, as you guys are already well aware of, and if you're not, here I will be advertising our sponsorship with Super 7. All right, so by all means, go ahead on any of our social medias. You guys will come across our link tree. Once you click there, go onto the Super 7 website and purchase all of your Super 7 goodies right here at super7.com/monsterswithattitude2024. Highly recommend it. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily Godzilla stuff. It could be anything that is on the site that catches your eye. All right. Also, with that, and I know this is probably Samson's favorite part of the show, where we remind everybody by none other than Captain Gordon, don't be a hoe. Share the show. And as always, you guys, we would just want to remind you guys to always just simply embrace
the
attitude. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one. Thanks a lot, guys.
Later, guys.